Hey, good morning from the office. I'm your host, BKP. We are North Georgia's only live online morning show. Coming to you live from Ellijay, Georgia, the big city north of Atlanta. About an hour, I guess, but we're up here in the mountains. Nice and cold this morning. Feels good out. Supposed to be a warm day. No earthquake this morning, so we didn't get up to an earthquake. Rain, ice storm, and then earthquake, right? You probably have noticed the picture going around social media of weather in Georgia. Rain, ice, earthquake. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We don't know what Thursday brings, but I do know what this show has in store for you. First of all, if you'd like to contact the show, 706-889-9700. Chief at fetchernews.com. And there's all the social media ways you can follow us and keep track of us, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now, we come to you live two different ways. We come to you live YouTube Live. So if you subscribe to the channel, you get a notification that we're live on YouTube. Then we also come to you live on fyntv.com. All of the shows are archived there. Anytime we finish a show, you can go to fyntv.com, hit on demand, and pick the show of that day, and you can watch it later or again. Now, I'm telling you all this because some of you are tuning in maybe for the first time, and you're here today to because we have an interview with Anna Franklin. Anna Franklin, Justin McKinney was killed on December 4th, murdered. There's four juveniles in custody at this time for that murder. Blake Dickey, Hunter Hill, Lakota Cloyer, Dalton Manuel. Those four, Dickey is 15, Hill is 15, Manuel is 15, and Cloyer is 16. Three are charged with felony murder, and one, the 16-year-old Cloyer, is charged with a party to crime of murder. So he is the driver. Anna Franklin was also in the house, and they shot her. She did live. Yesterday we went out and we did an interview with Anna Franklin, just trying to dig a little more into this murder story. A couple things in the interview. We're going to do that at 9 o'clock. So for those of you out there wanting to know, we're going to do that right at 9. That's our promise. We'll come at 9 o'clock. We'll do the interview, those that are keeping up with this story. I think there's some things that, I know there are some things that are highlighted in this interview that are highlighted in this interview on other subjects going on or other things happening in Fannin County that may need to be addressed, or we need to know out here. The news, what's going on with supposedly drugs, the amount of drugs, and what's being done to maybe rid the county. And I know everybody would love to rid their county of drugs, but I think drugs surround this murder. Anyhow, again, Anna Franklin's interview at 9 o'clock. So we'll do that story at 9. Second, before we get started into some other things, many of you learned yesterday, as we did here, that Chris Parker, I want to give a shout out, the head coach of the Pickens County Dragons, has resigned as head coach of the Dragons. He is staying with the school system. He will continue to be the athletic director. There are some other assignments he will be doing and be responsible for in the school system, but he is staying there. Coach Parker's not going anywhere. He'll always be Coach Parker to me, but he will no longer be the head coach. He wanted to keep it quiet so he could talk to his players. Pickens County Dragons coming off a very successful year, setting a lot of records, school records. First 10-0 season for the Pickens Dragons. First region championship for the Dragons. First home playoff game that they won against White County for the Dragons. So they won 11-1, and they went to a second home playoff game before being beat by Troup County. But that being said, 11-1 record. He's going out. The new coach will be picked internally. There's not a search, okay? So the Pickens Dragons are not searching for a new coach. The program basically is not going to change at all. staff, coaches, and a new head coach is coming from within the organization to be named today. All right, publicly named today. I may already know. I don't know, just a guess, but from within. So we'll go with that. Okay, now, we're in a world at 8:30, it's time for Carla's Corner, but, you know, it's only here that I could say butt boy and pecker in the same segment. Just saying. I mean, if you are in the 6th grade, you just can't beat some of the news that's coming out, all right? Butt boy and pecker. Just easy, folks. It's nothing to be alarmed about. Nothing at all. Do you have number 2 there? This is Minka. And the reason I want to open with this is these are these elite, pompous pieces of garbage over at MSNBC, okay? She is elite. She's better than you, okay? The facelift, as you can see, you know, when she showed up at Mar-a-Lago, her and Joe, her face was bleeding all over, Trump said, from the facelift. They hate Trump. They hate this man with a passion, so they're doing the bidding of the deep state over there at MSNBC. She's off today. Minka is off. And I find it very interesting. At 6 a.m. this morning, Joe comes on with his band of monkeys, the whole group of monkeys there. And, well, daggone it. Let's see. Is anybody black on there? Because I hope they don't monkey it up. And then again, is this racist? And can I say pecker on the air? And are we doing a story called Butt Boy? Yeah, let's get back to this. So this elitist, this piece of garbage right here on the screen, not Mike Pompeo, all due respect, sir, the Secretary of State, she comes on. She's not there today. 6 a.m. Joe says Minka is off today on a planned day off. That was a long time ago. She planned this. He takes 30 seconds to 45 seconds to open the show to explain why Minka's not there this morning. And don't read into the fact that Minka's not there. This was planned. And then he gets the monkeys all to, you know, swing around the cage and say, hey, yeah, we know Minka was off, right, Joe? You sent us the email this morning. She's off because something she planned months ago. We get it. This is what Minka said yesterday, okay, on the show concerning Mike Pompeo, all right? Roll the tape.
Because I don't think I can't think of anyone here who could put it more clearly than you. I understand that Donald Trump doesn't care. Heilman makes a good point. He doesn't care. But why doesn't Mike Pompeo care right now? Are the pathetic deflections that we just heard when he appeared on Fox and Friends, is that a patriot speaking or a wannabe dictator's butt boy?
Want to be dictator's butt boy? I learn something every day, I have to tell you. I tell people, you know, you got to go through life. You need to learn 5 new things every day. Just go learn something. If you go, I learned something I did not know yesterday that butt boy, you know, I'm from a different generation, you know. I'm from back when the Flintstones were having a gay old time and I didn't realize anything was going on, right? So I did not realize till yesterday that butt boy is a racial slur. I didn't know that. He calls Pompeo Trump's butt boy, and I'm like, damn, wow, all right. Now, here is the guy. Now, I think she meant this guy right here. Give me number 16. We'll go with 16, all right. I think Michael Cohen, Minka, would be butt boy, okay? Absolutely. I think that if you're going that direction, Minka, the guy on the left that got sentenced to 3 years behind bars yesterday, crying like a bitch. Sorry, I know, I'm not supposed to, but crying like a girl, I don't know what he was crying like. I mean, I'm out of control already, right? But Michael Cohen there on the left, I think that's going to be butt boy. I think that's what's going to happen when they get Minka. I think you need to get that right. So Minka over here, let's go back to number 2, all right? So she calls Mike Pompeo butt boy, and I understand that's a racial slur. So from the Washington Post yesterday, Minka Brzezinski faces backlash after calling Secretary of State Pompeo wannabe dictator's butt boy during a segment of Morning Joe on Wednesday. The homophobic and vulgar remark was triggered by a less than impassionate response from Pompeo about the murder of Saudi journalist and Washington Post contributor, columnist Jamal Khashoggi. Okay? Minka gave a half-hearted apology that was no apology. She is really getting taken to task on social media. All right, she did not apologize. I totally agree with you, Richard Grinnell. Okay, accepting apologies is important. We all fail. But I don't see that you actually apologize to gays. I don't see where you apologize. Minka didn't apologize. Your words demean, mock, and therefore try to control whole groups by minimizing our humanity. Totally agree with you. Super bad choice of words. I should have said water boy like a football team or something like that. Apologize to Senator Durbin too. So sorry. So Minka's off today. I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that Minka would not be in this morning. And it's been planned for all too long. These pompous jerks. Now, the word of the day is insurmountable. Insurmountable, okay? That's our word of the day. I don't know if we'll have one tomorrow. But insurmountable. Too great to be overcome. I really think that some things are going to be too great to be overcome. And let's go through the media's, by the way, Cohen, when you go to prison number 1 there, you'll probably meet in prison, the mega gang. That's how you can identify them. They're wearing their necklace, mega, okay? And you probably are going to have a bad day in prison when they find out you're the one that flipped on their boy, Donald. Oh, yeah. When you find out, when Kanye puts the word out that you flipped on the Don, yeah, okay, we'll see how you make out in prison. Okay, let's go with this 3 things. Here's the way it's going this morning. Number 8, the walls close in, all right? They are treating Michael Cohen yesterday as if they sentenced Donald Trump at the same time. They are treating Cohen as if this is it. Okay? The walls close in. According to the media, this is the sentencing. This makes it official. Donald Trump is an unindicted co-conspirator. The Democrats want to see what the Supreme Court will say about a president of the United States being indicted. Watch and see. Just saying, don't know. But this yesterday, Cohen's crying, all right, and getting 3 years. They feel they just convicted Donald Trump too. They are so giddy over there. Number 9, Miss America. Number 9, there she is. Miss America. Pelosi gets the votes. I just want to bring this up for a reason. During the election months ago, maybe a year, but I know 6 months ago, when Democrat candidates started coming out and the media carried the water for them, and Pelosi, they were campaigning and telling the voters in their district where they won, I won't vote for Nancy Pelosi, or I think we need new leadership, or I think something's got to change in the leadership. But I said all along 6 months ago, Pelosi will be Speaker of the House. Period. 6 months ago. All right? There was an interview 6 weeks before the election. Elijah Cummings, they had him on TV. Elijah Cummings said, there's no doubt Nancy Pelosi will be the next Speaker of the House. There's no doubt. But the media carried that narrative all the way until yesterday, okay, when a false deal was cut for Democrats, okay, so they can go home. They're going to go home and say, well, we got a deal. Anytime a Democrat's a speaker, they can only be in there for 4 years. Bull. All right? Democrats and term limits. How old is she? 80, 78? She's what, 78? You look it up. She made a promise. She made a promise to her party that she would only be speaker for 4 years. And they're going to come out and cheer and tell the people back home, hey, we told you we would vote against her, but we cut a deal. There's a deal here. She won't be there over 4 years. We got term limits. Really? Was she 78? She'll be 82? 82? Maybe that's when she planned to go home anyway. And she's Speaker of the House. Period. I told you once, every one of those young people that just got elected went through the room and they got the hell beat out of them, they would come out with a whole different tune. Everything is done now. Nancy is going to be Speaker of the House in just a little over 3 weeks. A little over 3 weeks. And if the President of the United States comes out in January and does a State of the Union address, you will get to see Nancy Pelosi sitting behind him. So we will have the picture in our American history of Mike Pence, Nancy Pelosi, and Donald Trump. Who would have thought that, right? Just saying, she got the votes. We all knew she would have the votes the whole entire time. Another subject I want to talk about this morning, we're getting close. It's almost time for Carlos. Texting. Number 10, okay? California, all right? California is looking to tax texting, all right? And the one thing I want you to watch for is, let me get to the story on this one, all right? I had it here just a second ago. California regulators mulling a tax on text messages. All right. California Public Utilities Commission is considering charging mobile phone users a fee for sending text messages to help fund program that makes phone service available to low-income residents. Now, not exactly the same thing, but what about Georgia? You know, we keep being told about that broadband, broadband, all right? If they take any more money, I want to know, are they going to give it to the broadband providers? Are we just going to give these people, the internet people, more money? Trust me, they have the money. They can do this. All right? In an interview with Speaker Ralston, okay, the communications tax, okay? Now, Jim Galloway with the AJC is asking Speaker David Ralston about the communications tax. That seems to be the second heaviest lift out there. This is a smaller piece of something we've talked about before, about expanding the base of sales tax in order to reduce taxes elsewhere. What we are doing in the proposal, Ralston said, what we are doing in the proposal is to tax products that have been tax-free up until now, if you believe in a flatter, fairer tax. I think people will like this. Certainly, it will allow us then to do some things regarding the extension of broadband to some poorly served or not served at all areas of Georgia. I think high-speed broadband is a foundation of rural development because it's so intricately related to healthcare, education, and business. I'm telling you right now, you read California's going to tax texting, Georgia's on their way. Where's that story? Okay? Now, I'm all in favor of the rural commission, okay? The rural I forget what it was called, the Rural Growth Commission or whatever, the Speaker Ralston. I support that, all right? And I support getting fast, high-speed internet throughout the state of Georgia. But I tell you what, I don't support a new tax that's going to go to the carriers. Because keep in mind, before they do this and they say, hey, we're going to get another, $2 a month from your phone bill, okay, to enhance internet throughout the state. Don't forget, Barack Obama's, all right, billions of dollars went into Barack Obama's, Connect America. Yeah, Connect America. Go look at that. Billions of dollars where it went. And look at how many carriers in Georgia that provide internet got that money from Connect America and did nothing, did not expand broadband. So I don't see any need to take another $2, I don't even know what it is, from my phone bill to promise me broadband that's going to go to the carrier with no guarantees that they're going to increase service. We'll go through that later, but be careful next session and pay attention. Insurmountable. I'm going to tell you now, if Republicans do not stay with Donald Trump, let's just go with number 10. I'll tell you how I am. I'll use his words. Let's go with number 13. I'm sorry. Let's go with number 13. Trump isn't bluffing over shutdown, okay? This is Kennedy. This is Kennedy from Louisiana, Senator Kennedy from Louisiana. This is how serious I am. I'm going to use his statement on Trump. They asked him yesterday how serious he thought the President of the United States was concerning a government shutdown. He said 4 heart attacks and a stroke. That's what he said. He said he's as serious as 4 heart attacks and a stroke. And that's serious. He'll shut it down. I'm as serious as 4 heart attacks and a stroke. And I'll tell you why. Because if Republicans bail from the president now, Marco Rubio, if they bail now, okay, the losses they will see, the Senate, they will lose the Senate. The House losses will be much bigger, okay? And I don't know if we'll get the presidency back if the Republicans bail. I don't know. We're not down that road yet. But the losses will be so big to Republicans if they bail on the President of the United States. It will be the complete, insurmountable, it'll be an explosion in the Republican Party they won't come back from. It could be the eternal explosion the Democrats have been waiting for if these Republicans start jumping ship against the President of the United States. Because, see, we know the truth, you and I, okay? You and I know the truth. You don't see this anywhere this morning, all right? You don't see this anywhere. Number 11, oh, you do at Fox, I'll give them credit. But I'm reading articles this morning, number 11. Demanding documents. Remember, Flynn got this whole thing kicked off. Flynn got this ball rolling, all right? Demanding documents. Judge orders Mueller to hand over documents in Flynn's case. Why? Why? Number 12. Demanding documents. Judge orders there. Who is that? That's Peter Strzok, all right? Number 3. There's Flynn in the middle, okay? There's Peter Strzok on one side, Andrew McCabe on the other. The deputy director of the FBI, no longer there, fired. Peter Strzok. Okay? McCabe told Flynn, hey, you don't need an attorney. It's not that kind of meeting, you know? All right, you don't need an attorney. Don't worry. Strzok was there to do the interview. Now, 2 days ago, if you watched all the left media as hard as you could get to the left, you were seeing Flynn. You saw Michael Cohen this week. You know, Judgment Week for the president. Michael Cohen, Michael Flynn, and Paul Manafort. This morning, Flynn's name's coming down out of there right now because they don't want to talk about this right here. They don't want to talk about this, but you and I know the truth, okay? These two guys, number 4, Peter Strzok and Andy McCabe, are the ones that did Flynn in. These two crooks. Judge wants to see everything. He wants to see everything here. Let's go to number 5. Let's just remember this. While they're talking about 2 porn stars, okay, they're talking about McDougal and the National Enquirer, the Playboy Bunny, and Stormy Daniels. All right, let's look at number 5 there. We've got McCabe, Strzok, Bruce Orr, Nellie Orr. We're just going to go with a couple. All right? Strzok and his insurance policy. Maybe that's what we're doing right now. Let's go to number 6. Hey, Strzok, McCabe, work for Comey. I mean, I just want to remind you this morning. There is Michael Flynn that the judge wants to see everything. There's an IG report coming out. I mean, we have evidence on so many things. But no, we're talking about $130,000 to Stormy Daniels and the National Enquirer. Pecker covered it up. And we're going to have the Donald Trump Unsolved Mysteries show is going to go on for season after season when they're done because they're going to open the National Enquirer vault. They will probably subpoena what's in that vault. Get ready. Supposedly the National Enquirer has a vault where Trump stories are all buried, okay, that they were trying to keep away from you. Because Hillary should be president of the United States. At the end of the day, when they get done, every time they see this man's face, they think Hillary Clinton should be president of the United States, and they're determined to stop it. And the Republicans are definitely in on it. Definitely in on it. Number 7. Just little reminders we need today, okay? Glenn Simpson up there to the left. Hillary, what the hell? Nellie Orr, okay? Nellie Orr, Comey. Loretta Lynch, Obama. Bruce Orr. Sally Yates, acting attorney general. Forget it, man. Peter Strzok. McCabe. Perstrap. Who is he? We never hear any talk about him. All right? Never hear any talk about him at all. Where is he? FBI agent, ex-FBI agents McCabe and Strzok role in Flynn interview problematic, highly unusual. Okay, when Michael Flynn's attorney requested the former national security advisor receive no jail time for lying to federal agents, they asked the judge to consider the role of 2 former Federal Bureau of Investigation agents who have since been fired and referred to alleged misconducts. Okay? The sentence memo filed Tuesday in Flynn's defense suggested that former FBI Director Andrew McCabe encouraged Flynn not to seek legal counsel before sitting down with an interview with 2 FBI agents, one of the agents being Peter Strzok. Okay? Now, I want to bring up one more thing before I close this. All right? Let's stay right there. His name's Pre-Strap, okay? He's in the circle. You don't hear anybody. Top FBI official, Bill Pre-Strap, to retire. A top FBI official has a role in overseeing investigations into both Hillary Clinton and Trump's campaign, will retire at the end of the year. Bill, who is currently serving as Assistant Director of FBI's Counterintelligence Division, will leave the Bureau after 20 years, okay? His departure is unrelated to the 2016 investigations and the questions that have been raised about them, the Journal reports. He's just been there 20 years, and he's gonna leave. Pre-Strap was involved in the FBI's investigation into the Russian interference in 2016 election and whether Russian collusion with the Trump campaign, and he was also part of the Bureau's investigation into Clinton's use of a private email server. Now, the last thing I want to say, all right. President Trump fired FBI Director James Comey last year, while Deputy Director Andrew McCabe was fired in March by Attorney General Jeff Sessions. Counterintelligence agent Peter Strzok was fired in August after facing criticism for sending critical text about Trump during the 2016 campaign. Pre-Strap supervised Strzok before he was fired. That was his supervisor. Oh, he's just leaving. He's got 20 years in. We're going to give him the cake, the watch, everything. We got to go. We're running late. It's time for Carla's Corner. The things you don't see, the things you don't see, don't hear. And we're going to be back. We're going to be back right after these messages with Carla's Corner. I'm your host, BKP. Take us to break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Better days ahead.
The leaves aren't the only thing falling in Jasper. The prices are falling too at Days Chevrolet. Now during the model year end clearance, get huge savings up to $14,000 off Chevy Silverado Crew Cab and save up to $7,000 off new Chevy Cruze. The prices are falling on every 2018 Chevy in stock during the model year end clearance, going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys always cost less.
Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Hey, we're back, folks. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning. It's time for Carla's Quarter. We're sorry we're running just a little late. I don't know if you know this about me. I got a little long-winded in the first segment.
Shocker.
They can see you roll your eyes out there. How are you?
Good.
Would it be inappropriate, like, if we did this background and we sang "Baby, It's Cold Outside"?
I'm not singing.
You don't.
I don't sing. Nobody wants to hear me sing.
Oh, they do me. They want to hear me.
No.
Yes, they love when I do Elvis Christmas.
No.
They love when I do Santa Bring My Baby Back to Me.
No.
Hi, how are you, Carla?
Good.
I know, they know, and I know that they know that I know they like when I do
What?
Elvis.
Well, you can't see it in the screen, so that's good. Those of you that are watching, you can't see it, but Brian over here is wearing like an Easter shirt. It looks white in the like what you see, but it's really like white with like teal stripes and a
What's
little
wrong? It's
pink
long
polo.
sleeve. It's long sleeve. It's okay. It's something I threw on. I mean, I'm not like that. I just throw something on. I come down here.
You know, when I get up and I'm like, I'm doing Fetch Your News today. I'm going to dress nice. I'm going to make myself look good today. It's a good thing to think about before you come.
So what else you have? I mean, you don't like the shirt. Won't happen again. Put it down on the list. Never happen again. Never happen again. Okay, you got it. Never again.
So are these like New Year's resolutions? Is that what we're doing right now?
No, we're not. That'll be next week.
No, this is the last Carlos Corner of 2018.
It is?
Yes. Next Thursday, its kids are out. It's Christmas break.
What's that got to do with Carla's Corner?
Because when Carlos Corner's kids are out, Carlos out.
Well, why don't you bring the kids?
No, I am on Christmas vacation.
That doesn't mean you can't come and see the people. I tell you, folks, I have no control over this. None whatsoever. I'm going to look right in the camera. I'm just here.
He has control of the next 30 minutes. You get excited for that.
What do you have this morning? You're in quite the Christmas spirit. You done knocked me from my shirt. I put this shirt on, and guess what? Somebody out there says, you know what? He needs a new shirt. And then I get a box, there's a new shirt. And I said, wow. And I said, whatever.
We are talking about what could potentially be good New Year's resolutions for next year. You know, dress the part.
Dress the part. Okay. Working on it.
Put that on the to-do list. Not saying bad words. That was a
Whoa.
New resolution this year. You failed at least twice on that one. Twice.
Today?
Not today. I meant this year because that was supposed to be a New Year's resolution last year.
Did I make that? Not to say bad words?
Yes.
I don't remember that one.
So we're getting there, but New Year's is right around the corner, so we got to talk about some New Year's stuff. Josh, did you get my email? I'm so sorry, I forgot to mention that when I was sitting in here. I sent you an email. Did you get it? I don't know. Is he talking to you?
What is the official take your tree down? It's not even Christmas, but we're not going to be here because, you're going to have kids at home, so you can't bring the kids, and we can't have fun and everything like that. So this is it. It's over. Bada bing, bada boom. It's Christmas. Done. Carla's Quarter.
12
Next
days.
thing you know.
12 days till Christmas.
Right now?
Yes, today is 12 days till Christmas.
And
I haven't sent my Christmas cards. I haven't done Christmas pictures. I haven't cooked cookies. I have only watched like 3 Christmas movies. I am so far behind. It is stressing me out. Like, I need to have some time to enjoy. I mean, normally I go do my little trip where I get all my Christmas goodies.
So you're stressed out this time of year?
No, I'm not normally.
Well, then why? What's different this year? Why get all stressed out?
I don't know. I just haven't had all my Christmas stuff that I like. And my tree keeps going out. I don't know if I put it on my Instagram story. I got this tree. And the lights just like randomly keep going out in different places. And
Places.
And then I got to fix it and put more lights on. And it's very infuriating.
You're not catching on, are you? Your tree's not going out in different places. Charlie's just playing a trick on you. He's just unplugging a different string of lights.
Trust me. Charlie would never go.
He knows better than the tree.
No, he knows that lemon's not worth the squeeze because he gets tired of hearing me.
He knows what?
The lemon's not worth the squeeze. Have you ever heard me say that?
No, he knows that lemon's not worth the squeeze. Write that one down, folks.
That's my mantra. Like, I always say that. Is the lemon worth the squeeze? I say that all the time. Anyway, But he knows, like, playing a joke like that on me is not worth all the listening to me, like, lose my mind over the stupid tree and throwing a fit. So he likes things that...
Well, I tell you what, look at you. It's Christmas, stupid tree, and,
I know, it's
and
not,
stressed
I'm not in a
out.
good
I mean,
place.
what is up with you?
I got to get in a good Christmas place, and I'm
No
not
doubt.
there.
My gosh.
Yeah.
There's so many good things going on. There's Christmas plays.
I know.
So many churches are doing so many different Christmas plays. And I tell you, this time of year is nothing more enjoyable to go and see the little kids do the play. And the one that's supposed to be a sheep, they're up on the stage, and they run off the stage into the audience because mommy's out there. All the good things. And here you are being grouchy. You can't be grouchy right now.
Speaking of such activities, tomorrow night and Saturday night, 7 to 9, I know the weather's not looking super awesome, but One Night in Bethlehem will be presented by the First Baptist Church. It's like a walk through Nativity in downtown LJ in the First Baptist Church parking lot. You can go either Friday or Saturday and see it, but that'll be happening this weekend. And then there'll also be a Christmas worship concert at LJ Elementary School. Let me pull that up. On Friday, December 14th at 6:30. So lots of opportunities this Friday and Saturday to enjoy some Christmas activities, as well as Christmas services that are coming up. We have the First Baptist Church will do their candle. Actually, I had like a whole itinerary here of those. Here they are. It's kind of funny. You could literally like.
You have pictures?
Here's my. Hold on, we'll do my pictures in a minute. We're doing Christmas Eve now. Mm-hmm. So you can do the LJ First Baptist Church candlelight service on Christmas Eve at 5 p.m. And then Orchard Church's Christmas service is at 4 p.m. on Christmas Eve. And Hope Lutheran Church Christmas Eve Holy Communion is at 7 p.m. King of Kings Lutheran Church Christmas Eve service is at 7:30 p.m. Cherry Log Christian Church Christmas Eve service will be at 5 p.m. And I'm sure, I don't have the information, but I could probably bet on it that Good Samaritan Catholic Church will have midnight mass. So lots of opportunities to celebrate with your church or someone else's church or a visiting church for the holidays. So I had to go through that list.
Sorry, I couldn't get off my mind that you haven't made any cookies yet.
I know, it's so bad. So bad. I haven't even watched the Christmas Chronicles yet.
You haven't?
No. I'm telling you, I'm way behind. And the new Fuller House season comes out tomorrow. It's just,
I know you didn't just say that.
I got too much going on.
I know you did not just say the new Fuller House season. Did you really? You watched that?
Yes, of course I watched that.
Oh my gosh.
Of course I watched that. I even did like a post to Netflix the other day because, you know, they brought back Gilmore Girls. They brought back Fuller House. They brought back Sabrina. I'm like, I need you to bring back Saved by the Bell. I need a reunion, whether it be a TV series or a Christmas movie. I'm fine with either. But I need you to bring back Miss Bliss and Mr. Belding, and I need Max, and I need to know what happened to these people. So you got to bring it back. Like, it's got to be a thing, Netflix. Do it, because we need it back. Anyway, so Josh has got my New Year's stuff up, I think.
Yeah, let's move along to the New Year's stuff so we don't have to talk about Saved by the Bell, Fuller House, Sabrina, or Gilmore Girls.
There's nothing wrong with any of that. Look at this. Do you know what these crazy...
Oh, no, polar bears. This is the plunge. You're going to... Oh, my gosh, I knew you were going to do this.
So,
New Year's Day, right?
New Year's Day, if you are daring and exciting and want to ring in the new year, you can do the polar bear... What's the black bear? Because we're in North Georgia.
Bear.
The black bear plunge at Fort Mountain State Park. All these people, it's like seriously probably like 15 degrees, and they're all standing there. And they run into the lake and run back out. And that's it. That's what you do. It's like a baptism. It's like washing away the crap of one year and like cleansing yourself for the next year.
Yeah, okay. Let's Let's
But the
reel it
information-
reel it in there.
The information for that is on our website. It's also on Fort Mountain State Park's Facebook page and their website. There is a fee to register, so you can get excuse me, a T-shirt, and because you might need one after running into the.
So if you're
cold
looking
water.
for a chilling experience on New Year's Day, we have one just for you, the Black Bear Challenge, right?
Black Bear Plunge.
Plunge. Okay, go.
And then Chateau Maitre is having a New Year's Eve celebration that you can get tickets
This is
to.
more like it.
So there's that event. I don't know, I haven't heard yet, but usually River Street Tavern does a New Year's Eve event. So definitely stay tuned to social media. We'll have some more information on some New Year's Eve things, but I just wanted to mention the Black Bear Plunge because, every year I say I'm going to do it and I never do it. I always wake up that morning and I'm like, it's really cold.
So I do know a lot of places will have New Year's Eve events and activities going on. Do you go out on New Year's Eve?
No.
Really?
Not typically. No, we'll be picking up Charlie's mom from the airport New Year's Eve. Which we talked about staying in Atlanta and doing, going and seeing the Peach Drop. But I think that his mom's probably not going to be really excited. Because I remember when we got home from Germany and all I wanted to do was go to bed.
See, I don't understand. I don't know why I can't go to bed like at 9 o'clock. It'll be January 1st when I get up.
Do you do the New Year's Day tradition of is it spinach? No, it's collards. And the greens and the black-eyed peas.
Cabbage and black-eyed peas? Is that what you're talking about? Cooked cabbage and black-eyed peas?
I thought it was collard greens.
Well, okay. So, what else
You
is
didn't
going on?
answer the question.
Do I do that?
Yes.
Yes, I do that.
I was
I mean,
just
everybody does that.
Does everybody do that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I did it last year for the first time ever.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't see no more money this year. It didn't work out for me.
Did you cook a penny in your beans?
I have small children. Why would I put change in my...
Just one penny.
Well, they didn't need it anyway.
One penny
so.
in the beans, and then when you get done, you filter through, you find the penny, but you got to cook the penny in there.
And then I did want to mention, because I've been really... I don't know about you. Has this weather depressed you or what?
My God, what is going on with you? We're not going to talk about 12 days before Christmas, how depressed you are, how you can't get time to make cookies, how you can't get time to watch a movie. I mean, my God, things have to change. The minute you walk out this door, I want you up, up, up. You understand? Oh, my God. All right, what are you all depressed about?
No, the weather, because it's been raining nonstop.
What the heck?
And then Glenn Burns tweeted, "Oh, it's going to be warmer than usual in the next couple of days." I'm like, come on now. But then I saw that I love this. The Weather Channel put in a snow forecast for Christmas Eve.
Okay, all right. So
That's called being optimistic in the South.
all right, we can't gloss over just yesterday the earthquake. Did you feel the earthquake?
No, I didn't feel the earthquake.
You didn't?
Heck no. Never felt it.
You do know what happened.
Oh, I'm aware it happened.
Did your dog come and tell you there was an earthquake?
No, a dog was sleeping with me in the bed. We were out. I do remember, though, when I was in high school, so this would have been around 2000 to 2003, somewhere in there.
Right.
I was getting up to get ready for school, and there was an earthquake, and my dad was like, did that really just happen? And I was like, what was that? I
So
didn't
the
even
kids
know.
didn't come in and say,
Nope.
Mommy, my bed shook, nothing.
Nothing. Charlie didn't know it happened. None of us knew it happened. We totally missed it.
Well, there goes that conversation
Is
piece
there
I
some
had planned.
superstition of if you don't feel an earthquake, 10 years bad luck or something?
No, I don't know. I just, most people.
I actually have a friend she lives in Anchorage, who was there obviously she lives there. She was part of that earthquake that just happened there.
Right.
And they actually had bridges out. She had some issues in her, with her house structurally, and yeah, it was a pretty scary thing. So there's a reason I don't live on the West Coast.
Are the girls excited about Christmas?
Oh, sort of. Abby decided to go into my Amazon and see what she was getting for Christmas.
You know,
Welcome to why my Christmas is just not working out this year.
what the heck with kids? You know, what happened to the days where you went all through the house and you looked under all the beds and the closets to see what...
Oh, no. I had their some of their gifts, which I'm not buying a lot of gifts this year. This is just not what I'm doing this year. I saw a thing on Facebook, and it was like, don't go into debt trying to make people love you or something. I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. So anyway, I had just a few gifts out in the garage. We're sitting there, and Charlie's like, Haley, go out in the garage and get my da-da-da. I'm like, no! And then Haley's like, why can't I go out in the garage? So then I had to, like, scramble and go wrap presents at the last dang minute. Christmas.
You know, I'm pretty sure that you're teetering on being a cotton-headed ninny-muggins.
Am I?
I'm telling you. You know, you're talking about Amazon, all right? The kids going in your Amazon. I mean, really?
Just for the record, the things that I had to get from Amazon, I can't buy locally. I tried. I went everywhere trying to find this, but I'll put that on the record. And I can't say what it is because my kids watch the stinking show. So it's like,
okay,
Abby knows, but Haley doesn't.
Young ladies out there, if you are watching the show, I want to know from you, do you think Mommy's a cotton-headed ninny-muggins?
Probably.
Do they think that? Probably?
Yeah.
Okay, we got a couple minutes. You think
We've been calling Abby Scrooge, though, because she ruined everybody's Christmas.
Why'd she ruin everybody's
Because she cheated and went into the Amazon to see what everybody got.
Well, you know, I don't understand it anymore. I know none of the rules. None of the rules. Years ago, when I was a kid, I thought we would get through before I said this. But when I was a kid years ago, there were simple rules. You got up Christmas morning and Santa came. How simple was that? And you did not know what Mom and Dad was putting together the night before or whatever. You did not know. You did not. You went through the wish book. Now, let me just bring some life into this program. Do you know what the wish book was?
This is the first year I've not got my kids a toy book.
I didn't ask you that.
I don't do toy books anymore.
What? I'm asking you some simple questions.
What do you do when your kids don't believe?
Oh my God, my heart. Would you stop? I didn't bring no heart pills this morning. Stop already with this. I have little children watching this. I got to savage this segment right now. Salvage, not savage, salvage.
Yeah, you do savage this segment.
My question to you, stay with the program. Do you know what the wish book is?
Yes.
What is it?
It's the book that you flip through and pick out what you want for
No,
Christmas.
it's the Sears catalog. And when you were little, let me tell this story because I think it's worth the time, okay? She doesn't. She's telling me about Amazon. This is back years ago. You all fought with your brothers and sisters to see who could get the wish book next. It was great, right?
Not if you don't have brothers and sisters.
Okay, let's not have an only child moment, please. Let's just stay with this, okay? So you went through the wish book and you told your mom what you wanted out of the wish book. Oh, I want this for Christmas. I want this for Christmas. We'll see. So what's Mom's favorite line? We'll see. We'll see what Santa does. We'll see. Naughty or nice. You get that. The rules were simple. I'm trying to tell a story.
Now moms are like, your kid's like, oh, I need some toothpaste. And you're like, well, you'll get it for Christmas. So it's going to be part of your Christmas.
Mom would say, we'll see, and then she'd hold that over your head, and, Santa's coming, and, all that. The rules were so simple. Life was just, so you made your wish, and you went to bed that night, and, you went off to bed, and you were told, you better get in bed and go to sleep, or Santa won't come. Part of the rules. They were simple back then. I know, you're bored, but they're not at all. Simple rules, right? So you go to bed.
I will say this. We were talking about, Paige made a mention the other day that she asked for a cassette tape when she was for Christmas. Go. And I remember getting CDs and DVDs and stuff like that. Now nobody really buys those things as gifts because it's all on a device. You don't buy stuff anymore because it's all here.
You know what my mom bought me when what Santa brought me?
I mean, if you go buy a basic watch, somebody would look at you and be like, why didn't you just get me an Apple Watch? Like, you know what I mean? Like, people
No, I
just-
don't know what you mean. I have
It's
no
just-
idea what you mean.
Okay, I'm sorry, kids today. Sorry,
Kids today.
apologies.
Kids today. We're going to do a different
They
segment.
don't even want toys. Like, they just don't care anymore. Like, they're like growing up with like this. They don't like anything. They don't want anything.
That's why I'm telling my story, because I think it's sad. I really do in a lot of ways, but I'm not going to be all down in the chops over it like you. But 10 years old, you know what Santa brought me? Memorex tapes, blank cassette Memorex, a whole box of them. Why? I'm going to share this.
So you can record yourself and listen to yourself?
Is that funny?
Yeah, I said that. Did you have one of those little things with a microphone?
No. So on Saturday morning, I could record Casey Kasem's Top 40. Is that funny?
And then review
Now
it.
I just
and
told
record
it.
yourself reviewing it.
I waited for number one on Saturday. Every Saturday morning, I listened to the Top 40 Casey Kasem long distance dedication.
I'll never forget the day I got the dual cassette players, so you could put a tape in one and then copy it on the other. That was, before, like, it just amazes me. Like, the world has took the fun out of everything.
That's what I'm trying to say. It was simple. The rules were simple, right?
You could copy cassette tapes, you could copy VHS tapes, and then it was like LimeWire, and you could download music, and then they put it into that, and then like you can't copy movies, and it's all illegal now. And then back in the day, nobody cared, and then now like everything's illegal. Kids are understimulated by toys because they're overstimulated by. Okay, now we're just getting off track. But the point is it's very difficult to buy your kids Christmas without dropping hundreds and hundreds of dollars because they're just not pleased with anything less than that.
So back in the simple days when, the rules were just real simple. You went to bed at night, and then you were so excited you couldn't sleep. And then your mom came in 2 or 3 times and made some threatening remarks that if you kids don't go to sleep, Santa won't come. Or if you kids don't go to sleep, I'll find the belt that Santa wears and help you go to sleep or whatever. So anyhow, after that happened, so you get up like at 3:30 or 4 in the morning, okay?
I would kill you.
And you run into, like 4 in the morning, you run in there to the Christmas tree, first one awake. Then you got to go back and get all the brothers and sisters up. You wake all them up. They come in, look what Santa brought, look what Santa brought. You start, then you go back and get the parents as though they're shocked to find out that Santa showed up in the house that night. And they had all the doors locked and a fire in the fireplace. So then you have the whole thing with that, and then you get your Christmas stuff, and that was Christmas. You were all excited, and then you went outside and played with your toys that you got. You took them outside. You couldn't wait to get your boots on and take your sled outside. I don't know where I'm going with this, but it was so simple back then. You were so excited about Christmas morning, and I see the kids today. They're going through the store, and I see the people putting the toys in the basket with the kid. I'm thinking, does anybody really, the joy that these kids have on Christmas morning, am I missing it?
No, because kids want iTunes cards and phones and computers and they don't, God forbid you buy them clothes. Oh, you bought me clothes? Like, that's not it. That's below the
Clothes
level.
The clothes was part. My mom had a 3-tier, or 3 or 4 tier. You had your big toy. You got one big toy. That was it, one big toy. And then you went to a couple little toys. And then you went to a pair of pants and a shirt that you could wear to church. And then you went to the last tier, socks and underwear. That was it, every kid. All right, big, couple small toys, shirt and pants you could wear to church, socks and underwear.
Now it's like if you don't have 70,000 presents around your tree,
something's wrong.
You've unimpressed people.
Have we missed anything today that we wanted to share with this audience exciting about the 12 days of Christmas that are coming up?
Now, if you didn't see last week's episode, I shared it on my Facebook. It's on YouTube, but it's a great segment we did on great gift ideas.
Gift ideas and shopping local.
Feel free to tune into that if you're still doing some of your Christmas shopping and need some last minute gifts. That was a great opportunity to see some local items that you can purchase.
Our local merchants have so many unusual gifts and unique gifts that you just don't find in other places, and you really can find the special something that when somebody opens it up, they didn't pass it 9 times with a buggy in a box store somewhere and they go, wow, I like that, some of the simple gifts, but they are, many of our local merchants have that. And you can go to the FYN TV Fetch Your News YouTube channel and go to Carla's Corner, the playlist there, and get last week's episode. It was really good. Carla, anything else? We're running a little behind, but I understand. Don't forget everything we talked about: New Year, Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve. All the events that are happening in North Georgia, you can always find on the Gilmer County Chamber of Commerce website. That is gilmerchamber.com right there. And when you go to gilmerchamber.com, you click up there in the right-hand corner for calendar of events. And when you go there, you can see everything, and you can click on the subject or the topic you want to look further into, and you can see the calendar of events in the far right, to me, right hand, to you, left hand. It's in the corner down there, gilmerchamber.com. We're going to take a brief break, and when we return, we will have our interview, and we'll move on with our next story. Carla, thank you very much. I want to wish you, before you go, you, Charlie, FYNTV.com, Fetch Your News, everyone here at the staff, we want to wish you and Charlie and the kids a happy Christmas, happy New Year's. And let's look forward to having a great Carla's Corner in 2019. Yep. This is a lot of fun. We thank you out there for watching. We're going to take a break.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in J next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in J next to Walmart.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and LJ, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
Here's to 60 years of Pizza Hut, to original pan, to stuffed crust, and to the best of both. The new double cheesy crust pan pizza with stuffed crust cheese baked just inside the golden edge of original pan. Here for a limited time. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Impact Designs and Creations just made Christmas shopping season a little bit easier. Now's the time to place your orders. This season, the featured items are Christmas tree ornaments, customized t-shirts and pet gear, cups, personalized ornaments, fan gear, and more. Stop by and do some one-stop shopping located at 307 Cleveland Street, Suite A in Blairsville, Georgia. Call 706-400-5674. Impact Design and Creations, making everyone's Christmas wish come true.
Hey, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Let me tell you how you can reach the show, 706-889-9700. That's how you can get in touch with us. Also, our email address is on the screen and all the ways to follow us with social media. Now, let me just set this interview up. We're going to go right into it. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here, but let me just set this up. On December 4th, Justin McKinney was murdered in Fannin County, okay? Approximately somewhere around 12:30 a.m., all right? Also shot in the face, Anna Franklin, all right? So Justin McKinney and Anna Franklin, McKinney shot and killed. Franklin shot, sent to a trauma center, and now has a shattered jaw, and the bullet is lodged into her neck. She has been released, and she is staying at an undisclosed location with family at this time. We had an opportunity to go over and talk with Anna last night. Natalie Kissel, which you have been reading the article, she's been writing the articles, and she has a new one up. She wrote an article about the interview last night. Now charged with this murder is Blake Dickey, 15 years old, Hunter Hill, 15 years old, Dalton Emmanuel, 15 years old, and Lakota Cloyer is party to crime of murder, 16 years old. Anna called 911 at 12:50 a.m. 911, 911, I apologize, 911 at 12:50 a.m. And these 3 felony murder charges, and I gave you the one for Lakota. Now, let me say something before we start into the interview. There's been a lot going on with social media. Social media has so many different, there's things concerning Michael Dye, there's things concerning Hunter Hill's brother, there's so many different things going on social media concerning this. It does seem to surround drugs, drug use. It does seem to surround several other laws that are being broken, just seems to me. And it seems like this investigation is far from over. Anna asked us, you got to stay with the interview. It's 30 minutes long. You got to stay with the interview. And also pay attention to the questions I ask and Natalie asked in the interview of Anna. Anna requested that we cover her face. She still has a bandage and is struggling with a lot of pain. And she asked that we cover her face in the interview. We have done that. I will tell you there's a lot of things you will not be able to see, as though her expression when she gets emotional and the facial expressions. And I'm going to share with you a lot of questions I ask. The answers are, to me, some of the answers are in the facial expression. Just that's to me, and that's an opinion, obviously. I can't be sure on that. So we do cover the face, which will make some things difficult. Before we start, I want to give you an apology. No disrespect to cat lovers, but I've been fighting a cold, and there was a couple cats there, and I'm allergic to cats. So if you hear a sniffle or two, or maybe some breathing in the background, my sincere apology. But this is our interview with Anna Franklin. She is the one. She is the second one, the attempted murder of her. She was shot point blank. And this may answer a lot of questions, but when we get done, stay with me after the interview, because I'm going to tell you some things I think are next in this case, or maybe should be. So let's go to the interview I had last night with Anna Franklin. Anna Franklin, December 4th, four young men, I think 4 young men, Blake Dickey, also known as Blake Dye, Hunter Hill, 15, Lakota Ricky Cloyer, Dalton Levi Manuel, I don't know how many entered your home, But why don't you tell us what happened, just in your words? Why don't you tell us what happened on the morning of December 4th?
Me and Justin were about to go to bed, and Blake and Hunter started banging on the door. They let them in, and him and the boys were just talking for a while. There was no argument or nothing. I was looking at my phone.
How long were they there?
Maybe 15 minutes.
Before things happened?
Yeah,
Okay, so they knocked on the door, you let them in.
he did.
He did, he let them in, and they were talking. Were you in the same room listening to the conversation?
I was in the same room, but I wasn't paying attention to what they said.
What happened in that 15 minutes? What was that like?
Well, Justin went to check on the fire, and Blake was standing by the door, and Hunter was closer to me. And then while I was looking at my phone, it was the first shot, and I thought it might have been something in the fire, but then there was another shot, and I knew what the sound was, and I covered my face, and there was 2 more shots, but I don't know which one hit me.
Okay, now, do you know, now you said you were looking at your phone?
Yes.
That's what you were looking at your phone, so you went over, he went over to the fire?
Yes.
And you don't remember any of the 15 minutes they were there, of what the conversation was with them? I'm going to ask you, who pulled the trigger? Do you remember who pulled the trigger?
I can't really say that because I didn't see them pull the trigger.
So when you pulled your arm up to cover your face, you didn't see who had the gun?
No, I didn't have time to look.
When did you realize that somebody was going to shoot at you? I mean, what happened? Explain what it was. Did you look over and see Justin already shot and then realize somebody was shooting at you? I mean, explain how that.
I wasn't sure if they would shoot at me, but after the second shot, I looked over toward him, and he wasn't where he was. But I didn't know if they were going to shoot at me or not. I just covered my face because I was scared, and I knew what the sound was.
You called 911, correct? I mean, you covered your face.
Yeah.
They shot at you. Did they run? What happened? Did they run?
Yes. Before I put my arm back down, they ran out the door. I know I heard Hunter yell at Blake. But then after they left, I put my arm back down, and the front door was wide open, and they were gone.
You heard Hunter yell at Blake. Do you remember what he yelled, or
His name?
he just yelled for him to leave, let's go?
Yeah.
Did they know at that time, before when they left, when they were leaving? Did you? I know you're shot and you're hurting. Did you know at that time that did they feel that Justin was dead before they left? That they had murdered him? Do you think that they knew that, and did they know if you were okay or not?
I don't know if they thought I was okay or not, because they aimed at both our heads.
So they didn't check Justin before he left. They just shot at him, shot at you, and then took off.
Yes.
Man, what do you think the motive is here?
That's something I can't figure out.
Did they come over quite often?
No.
They didn't come. Well,
We
look,
knew who they were. But
you knew who they were?
They hardly ever came over.
But you called 911, correct?
Yes.
Who was the third person in the house, in the back room? Who was that?
It was an old man that we were taking care of.
You were taking care of. You mind giving me his name, or?
Donald.
How long did he live with you?
maybe a year.
I know this is very emotional for you. Tell me a little bit about you and Justin, your relationship. How long were the two of you together?
6 years.
6 years. Now, was this at your house? Is this actually your house where this took place?
Yes.
So you ran over in the email you sent me. You ran over and checked Justin before you called 911. Checked on him. Did you ever see the other two, Lakota Clower or whatever, however his name is pronounced, in Dalton Manuel? Did you ever see the other two involved that are charged? So you didn't know there was 4 at any time?
No.
What it says in the police report that you called 911. They received a call at 12:50 a.m. right at 1 o'clock in the morning. Why would these boys show up at your house if they didn't come over that often? Why would somebody show up at 12:30 in the morning and knock on the door and you let them in?
What they said when they first came in was that they had to jump out of someone's car and run. But they didn't say why or who.
So you didn't expect, but they never came over before? I mean, they weren't regular stopping by the house?
They had been there, but no, not regularly.
What about, now, how are you? And I want to apologize for not, how are you? I apologize for not starting that way. How are you? What is your injuries? How are your wounds?
I have a hole right above my elbow and a hole right here. And there's a hole here where it went in and hit my jaw and shattered it. And the bullet's still in my neck.
Were they not able to remove it, or they're not going to be able to remove it, or you don't know?
Well, they told me when I was at the hospital that it would cause more damage if they did.
It would cause more damage?
I can't feel most of my bottom lip and my chin.
When 911 came out, when the law enforcement came out and they interviewed you, since this has happened, how many other interviews have they done with you, and other questions, and maybe asked you questions about the motive of that night?
I haven't heard from any of them since I left the hospital.
They did come over to the hospital and interview you, but since you left the hospital, you haven't heard from anybody in law enforcement?
No.
There's been a lot on social media, and that's why I want to give you an opportunity. There's been a lot on social media and that surrounds drugs. And I mean, was Justin McKinney, was he involved in drugs? I guess I asked you point blank.
Not what everybody keeps talking about. He smoked pot. He had nothing to do with meth or coke or anything like that. He was very against it.
So the social media, and that's what want to give you an opportunity tonight, the social media that's going around, that meth and selling meth, you're saying that's not true, Justin was not?
Absolutely not.
But marijuana possibly?
Yes.
Did these boys ever stop by and like smoke marijuana with him or something?
No, not him, no.
Somebody said to me, I'm getting a lot of phone calls, and Natalie and I have been watching all the social media, and I know you have too. There was one comment on social media that these guys would come by and smoke weed. That's the quote with Justin.
No, not them.
Not them. What about the other thing on social media where Hunter Hill, and there's not a claim by him because we've not talked to him, but a claim that Justin sold him his brother some bad drugs. I don't know if have you heard that going around?
I've heard it from somebody, but I can't remember who, but yeah, that's ridiculous.
So there's
His brother might have had something, but it was not from Justin.
So let me see. I'm trying to put this together. So these two boys show up. They're there for 20 minutes. That's Blake Dickey and Hunter Hill. You never seen Lakota or Dalton, the other two, but these two show up, knock on the door, said they had to get out of a car, jump from a car and run. They stay in there 15 minutes. They pull a gun. They shoot Justin. You don't hear any of the conversation for 15 minutes of what they're talking about. They shoot Justin. You said you heard 2 shots.
I heard 4 in all.
4 in all, point blank. You turn and you cover your face up because they're going to go after you. And you can't tell me tonight that you don't know any reason why these 2 boys would just stop by your house that night and decide that he wanted to try to kill both of you. Because, I mean,
No.
I'm sorry to be like that, but that was their intent, right?
It had to be because they aimed at both our heads.
Right.
But no, I would have never expected them two to do anything like that.
Was Justin friends with Blake's dad? Blake's dad, Michael Dye?
Yeah.
He was, he was friends with his dad, Michael Dye. Did Michael come by very often? I'm sorry, Anna.
No, we knew him, but he might have come there twice when we were there.
Natalie, do you have anything as far as some of the things we've been discussing that comes to mind?
Well, one thing, and going back to the social media and, of course, rumor mill all around, what would you like to get out about Justin? Obviously, he was someone special to you. Is there anything that you would like for people to know?
Take your time.
Just what they're saying about them drugs is not true. He was very against anything that would hurt somebody like that. And he was everything to me. He made sure that I was okay. He had a very good heart.
How long do you think, how close was he with Michael Dye? I'm sorry, Anna, take your time.
Not very. He lived on the same road and they had known each other since before I got with Justin. But he wasn't close to him.
But he did know, like, you know, if you come to my door at, you know, if you come to my door at 1 o'clock in the morning or 12:15 in the morning and you knock on the door, I might crack the door open and say, what do you want? But you did know, both of you did know these 2 boys enough to open the door and let them in.
Yes.
And you still, and don't take this wrong because I know you're under, the reason I continue to ask, and I'm not trying to upset you, the reason I continue to ask because I know you're in a lot of pain and you're going through a lot right now, but you can't just come through your mind in any way whatsoever and remember anything that they were talking about for 15 minutes. What?
No, I tried and no, I just was not paying attention.
So you don't know why they had to run from somebody's car? You didn't, and obviously you didn't see them with a gun in their pocket, or where did you see the gun come from?
I didn't see the gun. I didn't see any gun come out.
You just heard the shots?
Yeah.
And I asked this once, not trying to upset you, put pressure, okay, I promise, but so you don't remember who pulled the trigger?
No. I can't say because I did not see who did.
You didn't see who pulled the trigger, and who yelled? The one guy yelled for Blake.
Hunter.
Hunter yelled for Blake to get out of there.
I heard him yell his name. Yeah.
Yell his name, and you've never seen a gun in either of their hand or anything like that.
No.
They didn't leave the gun behind. They took it with them.
As far as I know, I didn't see any gun.
What about the, and I'm trying to make sure we cover everything to give you every opportunity, because again, social media is just not, to me it's not fair. People can just go in there and write things, and you should get an opportunity to answer anything. You said no to methamphetamines. Okay, you said yes to weed. What about pills?
No.
No. Justin didn't sell pills to anybody.
No. He was pretty much just a big hippie, and he didn't have nothing to do with any of that.
And why these two 15-year-old kids just showed up at your house that time of the morning, you don't know?
No. I mean, like I said, we never would expect anything like that from them. And them knocking on the door, and of course he let them in because we would not have expected that.
One of the things being said on social media was that they came in as a robbery. But the way you're describing it, you don't think that they took anything or was looking for anything?
I don't think they had time to get anything.
Yeah.
But they were about 15 minutes. Justin did let them in. They did sit in, I guess, the living room or wherever you were at. They talked. You didn't pay attention to what they were talking about. And then you thought it was a fire. Just tell me that one more time. Did Justin get up and go to the fireplace or something? Or
Yes, he was making sure the fire was still going because we were about to go to bed.
And where was he sitting and where were you sitting? Like, I mean, how close? Like, where we're sitting here, was he sitting in a chair, you sitting here, and they sitting here, or
When it happened, they started shooting.
Yeah.
me.
like when they were talking in the living room? I can understand because I'll get my phone and I could be across the room with a bunch of people and I don't even know what other people are saying, so I could understand that. But where was everybody in the room? If you can help me with that.
I was sitting on a love seat on the right side. Hunter was in front of me. Blake was on the other side of him by the door. Justin was like in front of Blake where it's not a fireplace, it's one of those big old stoves. But Justin was there.
So you're basically sitting back and forth from each other? So where you're sitting, like you could see
Hunter
me
and
now?
Blake weren't sitting, they were standing.
They were standing.
Yeah.
So where you're sitting talking to me, were you in the same direction of them?
Yes.
So you could see them, but you were looking down at your phone?
Yes.
So you didn't see who pulled the gun?
No.
How far apart were you from them? 10 feet? 15 feet? I mean, how big a room is it?
I wasn't that far from Hunter. Maybe 2 or 3 feet.
Because I mean, and the reason I ask is I think, and I can understand what you being in the pain and going through this trauma here. That some of this is just maybe a flash of memory to you, but I think it would be helpful for you and everybody if you could remember any of that. And that's the only reason I continue to ask. I think it could be helpful if you could remember that.
I wish I could. But I don't.
Is there anything you've heard on social media or anything you've heard about this story that you in your words want to correct? Anything that you've heard that's happened in court, anything that you've heard that's been said, anything at all out there that in your words you want to correct?
All I've heard about is the rumor about the drugs because I don't have very good internet here. And there's no TV. So that's the only thing that I want people to know is not right. He had nothing to do with that.
Do you know if they ever smoked weed together? It's the only way that's the only way I know.
No, not him and Hunter and Blake, no.
No, but what about Blake's dad?
Probably.
Probably. And that would be Michael Dye. They may have smoked some weed together.
Yeah.
Because here's exactly, and if you're done, because like I said, I don't want too much pressure on you, and I appreciate you sitting down and opening up with us, and if you want us to come back, if there's more things you want to talk about later, we'll be glad to do it. But I'm pretty candid where when I hear something, I'm going to be direct with you. Yeah. Somebody called me up and said, here's what happened, and I'm not saying it did, but somebody called me up and said, Blake and Hunter always stopped and smoked weed with Justin. They stopped that night to smoke weed with Justin. Justin got mad and said, you guys can't just stop and smoke weed, you have to start paying for it. And they got angry.
Stupid.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm not telling you it's true.
I'm sorry.
That's a no. I'm so sorry, but I'm just trying to share with you all the things that are out there and give you the opportunity to clear any of that up. And I'm so sorry, but I'm going to be honest and direct with you. That's.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, because they said, well, Hunter and Blake would stop, smoke weed with Justin, and Justin, what was told to me, he sold weed, and he told him, you're not going to stop, just knock on the door and smoke weed for free, you got to start paying for it. And that's, like I said, I think all of us know, if you've been following the internet, a lot of stuff is out there, and that's why I'm giving you opportunity. So there's nothing like that whatsoever?
No, he didn't smoke with Hunter and Blake, and he did not get mad that night. There was no, all they did is talk. If somebody had raised their voice, I would have looked up and paid attention.
Did they
seem
upset when they came to the door because they were saying that they had to jump out of a car?
Honestly, no, not really.
They were pretty calm.
So you still don't know the motive. You can't stop and think for 1 minute why these boys would come and want to harm you. Okay?
No. Hunter and Blake always seem like calm, good kids to me. And it does not make sense, but all I can say is what happened that I know.
Do you think they were out looking for weed and they knew Justin might have had some and was going to steal it?
Possibly, yeah.
You think they possibly were going to rob him of his drugs? And I'll say weed. I won't say pills, and I won't say meth. Okay, I respect that. But we have talked about marijuana. So do you think it's possible that and I'm just saying this, it's just the way I am, 4 15-year-old kids out after midnight, had no business out after midnight, said, hey, we need some weed. I know where we can get some. Let's go by and get Justin's weed. I don't know.
That does make sense.
It does?
It does.
Okay, and they stop. 2 of them are in the car. They wait outside. 2 of them come to the door, knowing Justin knows them and will let them in, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the 2 come and they know Justin will let them in, and they know Justin will get comfortable with them. They know you'll get comfortable with them and not pay attention. You're over here on your phone, which that all makes sense. So you're comfortable with them. You're not afraid of them. You know them, right?
Right.
So you're comfortable. Justin's comfortable with them, all right? And then the 2 that are down the road or wherever, I don't know the details of where the 2 are that you never seen, but the 2 down the road are waiting, and supposedly maybe a robbery gone bad, or they shoot Justin and they're going to steal his weed stash and hook up with the other 2 and get out of there. I mean, anything like that sound?
It does make sense. I mean, I can't say, yes, that's what it was, or no, it's not, because I don't know what their reason was.
But it could make sense that maybe they knew, maybe they were there to rob him.
They could have been.
I just want to look at my notes. Do you know why, would you have any idea why the court sent which one, Dickey, for a blood test?
Oh no, I don't know why.
Because the court ordered him for a blood test, and I don't know. I mean, speculation is, and some things again in the social media world that maybe
Couldn't tell if he might have been on something or not.
How did you all know Blake and Hunter?
Through their dads.
through their dads? You all were friends with their dads and got to know them?
Yeah, when we first moved around Blue Ridge in a different house than that, all the Hill brothers used to come over and help Justin with his animals. He had a lot of animals, and they would help him feed them and clean their cages and everything.
So when you say the Hill brothers, so Hunter Hill's dad and Mike and Blake Dye's dad, or Blake Dye, both of their dads, I'll say, did they hung out with Justin?
Yeah.
Okay, so he knew both of their dads real well.
Yeah.
So it's just would if you know both their dads real well and the kids show up at the door, you know their dads, and so you're familiar enough with them. Is that what would that be correct?
Yeah.
By association with the dads. I asked you earlier if you thought that Michael Dye and maybe Justin smoked some weed together. What about Hunter Hill's dad? Did he smoke some weed with Justin?
More than likely, probably, yeah.
Probably. All right. Have you been in contact with Justin's family?
Yes.
How are they doing?
They're dealing with this and a lot more right now.
Maybe. What's a lot more, if you don't mind?
It's not my business to say.
Okay. But it surrounds this case?
No.
Okay. And you and Justin been together 6 years, did you say earlier?
Yes.
6 years? And this is your house, or your house where this took place?
Yes.
And this is out in Morganton?
Yes.
Now, have you lived there 6 years or longer than 6 years out there?
No, my dad passed away, I think, 2 years ago now. And me and my brother inherited that place.
So you and Justin your brother been living there too, or just you?
No.
But you and Justin been living out there since your dad passed away?
Yeah.
Natalie, I really can't think. And you don't know the other two boys, or you just
They look familiar, but I don't know them.
All right, so you don't know what's his name? Clower, and Manuel. Dalton, Levi, Manuel. You don't know him, or a dad, or
No.
family. Okay, and Lakota, Ricky Clower. You don't know him. Okay, and they never came in the house.
No.
Allegedly, they're the two boys that Blake and Hunter said dropped them off.
I guess so.
They jumped out of a car and had to take off. You didn't know their names, but you knew they were in a car, and when they came in your house, you knew that they had taken off out of a car, jumped out of a car, so you knew there was someone else out there or not.
There wasn't no car that came to the house. They had to have walked there from somewhere.
How far down the road is it? Is there somewhere they could park and turn the lights off and walk down the road and you not be aware of it? Or
Yeah, it's a pretty steep driveway.
All right.
Dirt.
Is there anything tonight that we've talked about, asked you, that you want to clarify, you want to add more to it? Is there anything we didn't ask you tonight that you make sure you want people to know out there? Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Not that I can think of.
Natalie, you have anything else?
Not that.
Anna, we appreciate it. We thank you for your time. We will come back out. All you got to do is let us know. We'll come out and talk to you as maybe some things come back to memory and you continue to, heal. We appreciate you taking this time. And again, we hope you heal up real soon and you get to feeling better. And we will come out if, some of the questions I've asked tonight, maybe it could get you to thinking a little bit. And if you want to share some things to be helpful to get your side out, we'll be glad to come out and see you again, okay?
Okay.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you very much, Anna. Okay, we're back. I'm your host, BKP, and you've been watching an interview with Anna Franklin. Okay, Justin McKinney was murdered in her home. It's Anna's home where they lived out in Morganton. Justin McKinney murdered on December 4th, and an attempt on her life at the same time. Blake Dickey, a.k.a. Blake Dye, 15 years old. Hunter Hill, 15 years old. And Dalton Levi Manuel, 15 years old, have been charged with felony murder. In this case, Lakota Ricky Cloyer, 16, which we speculate is the driver, that night, party to crime of murder, has been charged. So at 12:50 a.m. Now, my question is, at 12:50 a.m., who's knocking on your door? At 12:50 a.m., who do you expect? Now, that's when the 911 call came in, so let me clear that up. So around 12:15, they were there 15 minutes before this happened. Call comes in at 12:50 a.m. But at 12:15 in the morning, who knocks on your door? At 12:15, who knocks on your door that you know well enough to say, come on in? At 12:15 in the morning, who knocks on your door that you say know well enough to say, come in and stay and talk? There's a lot more surrounding this, and there's a lot more to investigate other than a murder. And my hope is in the next 2 or 3 days, we're able to bring you some new information concerning this case. But the concern I have with many of you out there is there not just the murder, not just the attempted murder, but other things that surround this case that need to be looked at in Fannin County. So my hope is, if my suspicions, that's the word I'm going to use, are true, my hope is there are several more arrests made that maybe don't completely connect to murder before this is over. So I'm your host, BKP. I want to thank Natalie Kissel, done an outstanding job. You go to FetcherNews.com. Natalie has written an article from last night's interview, so you can read her article, and you can read all the other articles and see the first appearances in court. We do understand that charges on the attempted murder of Anna Franklin are on their way, but there's some other things also out there that my speculation is being reviewed, and my hope surrounding this case, okay, of the murder of Justin McKinney. Three 15-year-old boys and a 16-year-old boy at 12:15 a.m. that should have been in school the next day. By the way, went to school the next day. So, that being said, there's a lot going on. If you have information in this case, if you've watched this interview, if you would like for Natalie and I to come sit down with you, if you would like to contact us, if you feel you have information that in this case, you can contact us, 706-889-9700, 706-889-9700, chief@FetcherNews.com, right there. And there are all the ways you can contact us and get in touch with us on social media. Why, for some reason, do I feel like Nancy Grace right now or something? But anyhow, I'm your host, BKP. We're going to take a brief break. You got all the ways you can contact us. That is a 24-hour news tip line that stays right here. So if you want to talk to us, you can text me, you can call, email, and if you have any information concerning this. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. And when we return, stress, conflict. What are some of the things you're dealing with through the holiday season at this time? We'll be back right after this with Dr. David Markwell at Ridgeline Counseling. You don't want to miss our next segment coming up. Take us to break, Josh.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge, we have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
The leaves aren't the only thing falling in Jasper. The prices are falling too at Days Chevrolet. Now during the model year end clearance, get huge savings up to $14,000 off Chevy Silverado Crew Cab and save up to $7,000 off new Chevy Cruze. The prices are falling on every 2018 Chevy in stock during the model year end clearance, going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys always cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Hey, it's time for Dr. David Markwell from Ridgeline Counseling, and our subject today is conflict. Dr. Markwell, are you there with us?
I'm here, Brian.
Okay, when we do the subjects and we get the we get everything ready, I don't know if it's just me, but this week's subject, conflict. I probably need a couple of conflict resolution sessions personally myself, so I'll say that. But that's our subject of today, and when we encounter conflict, how to deal with it, and some of the things surrounding it.
Exactly. Yeah, this time of year, I know we had talked previously that, it's also a very stressful time of year, but you made a comment previously before where you had mentioned, I think it was around Thanksgiving, that a lot of times when we're around family and let's say the weather's not nice and we're inside, the likelihood is that, there's going to be a greater chance of some anxiety and some stress. And of course, following probably along that same line would be a greater likelihood of some conflict with family members, maybe some unresolved issues from the past. And so definitely I thought it would be not just because of the holidays, but conflict is an inevitable thing. It doesn't always mean that it's going to not bring about some positive change, but a lot of people definitely either don't like conflict and find themselves in conflict, or sometimes aren't sure exactly how to, resolve the conflict.
Dr. Markwell, it's been said to me directly that not everything I think has to be said.
That's a very good point. Absolutely.
Oh, so you're backing that up. Okay. All right. So, and that's some of the things sometimes. Let me ask you a question. When is it good to say something you've wanted to say? And, I know sometimes when you're seeing people and around the holidays, and there's the old saying of just keep your mouth shut, but when would it possibly be time to talk to family members or whatever? And if you get in a situation where there is conflict, how do you avoid it, or what do you do next to end it?
Sure. Well, I think first and foremost, if possible, try to measure it by, what is the importance or the urgency behind the need to discuss what we need to discuss. But I will be honest with you, there's a saying in therapy that's been around for years: what we resist will persist. And so sometimes if I go through life not addressing something that's bothering me, it will begin to fester, and then if I'm not careful at some point, and usually it's in some type of maybe gathering or in a personal, intimate relationship, where all of a sudden everything begins to flow. So I think two things. One is you want to make sure that you're weighing what is the benefit of bringing this up. Maybe it's something that is necessary and important and urgent. And I guess the second part of it would be, is the purpose of it to obtain some positive change with this person or the situation, or is it really more just me wanting to have my way or my say?
Is it better if we know conflict, you can have instantaneous conflict with somebody, and how to resolve that or handle that you walk into a situation and there's immediate conflict, and people shy away from that. Some people have the personality that they go right into the conflict and don't think twice about it. Some people shy away from it. But on when you're going in a situation, we are going to stay because we are still in the holidays here and Christmas, and you're going in a situation where you may be with somebody that you could have conflict with. Is it better to talk that out with somebody first before getting there, or something in advance with someone, much like yourself, your spouse, or at least have the conversation before you get where you're going?
I would suggest that, because a lot of times our ego gets in the way and we feel that we deserve the right to say this, or we are at a point where this person deserves us saying that to them. And sometimes to maybe pass it by someone else and say, hey, I'm thinking about maybe talking with my parent or my sibling about something, and this is what I'm thinking about. What do you think? It's very similar very often that the theory behind if you're going to send an email that may contain some information that's kind of testy or conflictual, they always suggest that you write the email, step away from it, wait a little bit of time, let someone else read it, or come back later when maybe emotions are not as much, and then kind of reread it. And a lot of times what we end up doing is either editing, adapting, or sometimes not even sending the email. So yeah, I would agree. I think it would be good, especially on certain topics. You made a very good point. Sometimes conflict is inevitable in the sense that we may just walk right into it and not be prepared for it. And in those situations, it's usually best to, as the old saying is, stay calm, cool, and collected. Allow the other person to share what their thoughts and feelings are. And then I always try to say, remember the difference between responding and reacting. Reacting is more of an emotional response that's led by the emotions and feelings. And a response, even though there are feelings involved, meaning like we may have the butterflies in our stomach, or we may feel like a bead of sweat coming down because we're nervous about the conflict, we're letting the feelings stay behind, and we're just responding to the situation versus reacting maybe to what's being said.
I think that's very important. When you react, you have that immediate reaction. Responding, I think it's a very good point. And I'm glad you brought that up because it's very helpful here. Myself thinking of, when you run into something that may be, a conflict, controversial, there's reacting and responding. And responding, generally, you've thought it out.
Exactly.
And you've taken the time to process it.
Exactly. I always, if I'm working with, let's say, parents and teenagers in a counseling session, or maybe even spouses or companions, what I will sometimes tell them is, imagine, for example, paramedics, EMTs, firefighters, they're referred to as first responders and not first reactors. So when they get to an emergency scene, it's exactly what you said, Brian. They have thought out, they've studied, they have all the knowledge as to how to handle the situation, even though it may be a very energetic or anxious, provoking situation. They're not going to come there and react emotionally and maybe criticize the person for their decisions or critique, the decision they made. They're actually going to just respond to the situation.
They assess the situation when they show up first. They don't just come running into a burning building. They assess, and that's why they're first responders. A very, very great example there, because they assess the situation,
exactly.
and then they look at how to deal with it. And we could take a simple lesson there. Dr. Markwell, I appreciate it. I do want to say, with the holidays, get your reaction to this. I always say that halfway to the relative's house is when your wife tells you who's really going to be there. Okay? And no, this is mine. So you're halfway to the relative's house for Christmas. That's when you find out who's going to be there. I've been meaning to tell you, cousin so-and-so is going to be there. And then that gives you a chance to react and say, why didn't you tell me at home? Well, I didn't want you. You won't turn the car around and go home. And if I told you at home, you may not have gone to dinner or gone to Christmas with family and friends. So you have to. And then the wife obviously then says to you, "And I don't want to hear anything out of you when we get there." Right? Am I on the right track or not?
I do believe that sometimes there is, when we get quarantined in a car, we sometimes are cornered and we have no way out at that point.
Sometimes that's the only way it can work, but I want to thank you so much. We're talking about conflict today with Dr. David Markwell from Ridgeline Counseling. You're going through the holidays, and we do have certain different kind of conflicts that that surrounds us in our life that we come up on a daily basis, or maybe family and friends. I would suggest that you talk to somebody about that conflict, because if it just keeps churning inside, that's not good. reacting, responding is very important. I enjoyed that. That meant a lot to me, and I appreciate you very much, Dr. Markwell. Anything else on conflict resolution that you'd like to share with our audience today before you go, sir?
Well, just the fact that not to look at conflict as a negative or something that positive cannot come from, and to realize that there can be some change that can come from conflict. Conflict usually indicates that something is built up and it needs to be resolved or relieved, and it's more along the lines of what you said earlier. It's conflict resolution. It's learning the appropriate ways of how to resolve and relieve the conflict, and make ourselves more positive and progress in our path.
Dr. Markwell, we appreciate you very much. Thank you. Always a pleasure. We've been on the line with Dr. David Markwell of Ridgeline Counseling. As you can see on the screen there, 706-314-8807. You can talk with Dr. Markwell today, maybe get to know him and share some things, some of the subjects or the topics we talk about every week with Dr. Markwell direct. Also, you can find all of our segments for Ridgeline Counseling with Dr. David Markwell on our YouTube channel, FYN TV, Fetch Your News YouTube channel. Subscribe there. Go to the playlist, and you'll find Ridgeline Counseling with Dr. Markwell. And we have several subjects we've addressed with the doctor. Okay, and next week, a new subject. I don't have it yet. We do them 3 or 4 at a time. So I don't have the new subject, but we'll cover one again next week with Dr. Markwell. Thank you.